Welcome back. This is a VOD review from the live stream on Teaching Tuesdays. This one was actually taken on a Wednesday, so apologies for the accidental bit there, but you're probably watching this on a random day or night anyway, so it's all good. So this was a viewer that came into the stream. This was Captain Crunk. I'll put the name in the description, or Joseph Rodriguez, who was chilling in the chat. And we're going to review this game of King of the Hill on Solitude Interference. So this is Diamond 1 roughly. So we're going to look how it's going off the rip here. We've got quite a few who's going to tower. First hill's on the corner. Corner has the shotgun. First thing I'm going to say straight away, why does everyone forget there's a heat wave on this map? Spawns right in the hill down there. Make sure you're picking up the heat wave. From this side, fastest way you're going to get over to get damage, you need to get tower control. You want to watch the window for any flanks. And you want to watch the short hole there. You want to make sure you're watching the short hole here because people can come around. They can also get on the white hole here. And the white corner. Going up to the engine ledge is fine, so I like this. The thruster is there, I think. Should the thruster be there right now? Yeah, which he gets it. So straight away, awesome thing that he's done there. He's got the thruster. Thruster is busted. Do not ignore it. Ever. Always get thruster. It is literally a free win or a free escape. Nice little flank. They didn't pay attention. That's all good. They've got the hill. Push-wise, the team is pushing a little slow. They're dying. So maybe we could have rushed a little more to get here. But overall, it looks like it's going in our favour. It's cool. Using the thruster. So when you're holding this hill, you've pushed and your teammates are taking fire here. So I know we're saying this right off the rip, but it's pretty clear they're in tower. So we want to probably be a bit more defensive with our position here. This guy's also got a sniper by the looks of it. Yeah. When you're in a scenario like this, you really just want to kind of chill out and try to live up, which is exactly what you're doing. So I like the gameplay here. We're not going to talk too much about like, oh, did he do maximum damage? Or, oh, could he have done this or could he have done that? The general idea here is you stay alive, because by staying alive, you're going to make it so your team spawns on Carbine, which is close by, which is really good. If you die, you'll probably spawn further away. We even get an assist, which is great. I'm actually going to back up a little there, I think. I think we missed something with the spawns. Think a stick along. Okay. We're going to look at how people are positioned. Because one of the really bad things about this map is your team can get really badly stuck in the bunker area. So if we just look here. I've got to remember the controls now because I haven't used theatre mode for a while. Please bear with. So they've got two guys in the tower. My mouse has decided that it's not a thing anymore. There we go. So we spawn up in bunker. So this is exactly what I wanted to talk about here. If you hold out here and the enemy team is here, for some reason this map spawns people bunker and I'm not sure why. And as well as that, bunker is like a spawn that you'll get stuck in. So especially if you have been paying attention to like the HCS Opens recently, if you want to shaft a team really bad on this map, just spawn them in bunker because it sucks. It sucks so hard because you just can't do anything. But look how you're spawning up behind them. And then, so he's giving you a split spawn for some reason. I don't know if this guy died actually, but he's here. You spawned up here. These guys are stuck in. So when you're pushing tower, you have to make sure you have control on other parts of the map or you're going to get stuck. And this is a really good example of that. Whether this guy spawned or not, now I think about it, he didn't die. But he's still there. So these guys aren't clearing properly. So you want to be careful when taking tower so you don't get sandwiched. These guys are spawning up far away over here. So you notice we got these spawns because you stayed alive down here. Really, really important. Go back to first person. The OS here is really important, but the other team has spawned up on that side of the map. So you have to be careful pushing it. And your team isn't really moving for it other than this guy here. It's really important to make decisions as a team together. Like if half the team goes for OS and half the team goes for hill, it's probably likely that you'll just lose both if the other team all goes for one, right? So you got to be really careful. You were just stood in sort of the wrong place when you're in the hill there. You always have to consider in the hill, where am I likely to get shot from, which we knew was tower. And am I stood in a position where I can escape? And there you just weren't. So that was like a caught out death, if you want to think of that way. But look, we've spawned in tower. We've spawned in bunker because they were holding hill and the enemy's in tower. So again, this is just highlighting that if you're not ready for the bunker spawns and you're in tower, you're going to get shafted. So you got to be really careful. So it's highly likely this guy's going to get back smacked or flanked. Yeah, and he gets killed. So there you go. Point proven, right? This challenge was a little... So that was definitely an over challenge. I think you were feeling the rush, like that you were feeling the bloodlust there after getting a kill. A very common mistake at these ranks that you see is people jumping down ledges and giving up their height advantage. Like the fight that you took here, let's just back up. I know the backup in this isn't great. Oh, it's not too far back. So the fight that you took here, you kill this guy, right? Think of that this logically. Why do you need to be down here when you can do the same thing from up here and live? Yeah, the only downside to this is that the guy might spawn in bunker behind you, which is what we were saying. So always take the fights from up here. Your team are nowhere to be seen at this point. This at the very best, remember, oh, we do actually have a kill feed for once. This at the very best right now is a 3v1. Yeah, 3v1, because we don't know where your team is. There's no indicators showing you where they are, right? So we don't want to over-challenge this. We definitely want to make sure that we're chilling, but we go full Rambo on this one. And even though you only missed one shot, even if you killed this guy, he appeared, so it was a trade. Yeah, rush the hill to me. It's all good, like, no flame. It's just, it's a super common thing. Like, you kill the guy, you get the bloodlust, they're scoring, you don't want that, you rush. It makes total sense, dude. It makes total sense. It's just, you have to wait for the team, that's all. So yeah, no flame whatsoever. The team is coming now, though. So now you've put your team in, like, a position where it's like you've made it so that your team now has 3 players and they have 3, but because you died second, if you think of the timers, now they have 4 before you have 3, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? And then we're on the respawn screen. And then we've spawned in, like, bottom engine / bunker again. So, again, you can see for this hill, like, bunker is, like, the spawn trap. Yeah? Like, bunker is the super spawn trap. I think going this way is a decent idea. Like, we've already kind of established that tower's kind of shit right now. And this gives you, like, the height advantage on the hill, I guess, even though you can't see. So this push with this guy is okay. You knew they were in tower. Pushing that way, you would have got, like, multi-teamed or something. But crosshair placement there was a little bad. Always try to have it so it's where an enemy's going to be. You were kind of just looking at the floor. Okay. I don't know if you just did that on purpose, but because your teammate spawned bunker, you immediately looked this way. So that is something that you tend to see, like, Diamond and Onyx players do. Because because his team spawned in bunker, he knows the enemies aren't there, right? So he's looked this way. That is good. You want to pay attention to where your allies are spawning, because that tells you where the enemies aren't. Unfortunately, you get a frag grenade to the face because you were stood too close to the stairs. But it was a good idea. And then we get taken out. So we were flying. We did stay alive. We got some damage in. We got a kill. We got some hill time. This first hill's taking a really long time, by the way, and it's because the teams aren't managing the spawns, right? So to get this hill scored, King of the Hill is all about controlling the spawns, and even though you have to sit in the hill to score, a lot of issues at like platinum / low diamond is that players play the hill, they don't play the map. So you have to play the map. You have to play for spawns, because if your team spawns closer to the hill, it's easy for you to get it, and you spawn close to the hill by not dying. And if you don't die, you can get time. Yeah? So play the map, don't play the hill. Play for spawns, and then the hill time comes. Yeah, this hill's an absolute clusterfuck, to be honest. It's a bit of a death box sometimes, because it's going to be it can be attacked from like 4 different directions. Oh, this is the first time we haven't spawned in bunker. Power-ups are coming up. I hope you path for Overshield here. There you go. We path for Overshield. So the other team have just totally messed up. They've just given you everything. Notice how he cancelled the Overshield animation by clambering. Again, I'm not sure if you meant to do that, but you can cancel animations with clamber. So you can cancel reloads, grenades, and power-ups. So the QT, the active camo, the Overshield, any grenade, and a reload animation can be cancelled by clambering, which is really good. So usually what you should do if you're fighting someone and you clamber, you should throw a nade and then clamber, because then you're not doing no damage. With the Overshield, we should be going. We should be flying as fast as possible. And that guy's gone. So, oh, let's see what happens. Okay, we tanked the nade. The positioning there, I think the idea there was that you were like, I have Overshield, so I don't give a shit that there's a plasma grenade on the ground. I'm going to kind of go against that and say if you'd not took that damage, you were in a position to push the enemy team because your team could have stood in the hill instead of you. But that's easy for me to say after the fact. Yeah, so I think that we could have tried to not take the damage maybe, especially given the fact there was a thruster on the ground or you had it. Yeah, you had it because it just hit the ground. This guy needs to stay alive to keep spawns on carbine for your team. Oh, there's a guy here too. There we go, we spawned on carbine. There we go, chat. So you stay alive, you get the good spawns. Look how close to the hill we are. Good times. We might not get the hill, but that's not the point. Oh, just a bit too gung-ho. Should have played that a little different, but we get the double assist. That guy gets the cluster look. He gets a triple kill from your actions there. So this is another moment where your spawn gives you a lot of information. So because you spawned in E1 and your teammates are in tower, that's telling you that the enemies are now spawning at carbine. See how much, like, I know the outlines are on, so I'm kind of cheating, but see how much information you get from where your allies are and where you spawn. It literally tells you where they are when that happens. I've just realized we don't have a hill marker on the screen. I like how you ran forward for your teammate there. I'm not sure if there was ping, but you got meleeed. So they got the hill. It was a combination of sort of synergy of the team, playing for spawns, that kind of stuff. Maybe some careless deaths. That hill was totally winnable, but it was close. So we'll wait till we get a bit of advantage. So holding the second hill, holding B like this by yourself is not great. What you want to do here is you want to try to hold carbine to stop pushes from here, and you want to try and hold engines like above you. So they have to push from like the middle, and then you can help each other. This hill is super vulnerable from many directions, and it's only really safe to hold it when you have total control of this side of the map. You want the sniper rifle in your hands. Never ever stand on B plat because it's basically death. Like, standing up here is very risky on this hill because you're just stuck. There is nowhere to go. It feels safe, but it ain't. You want to hold sort of like above where we're stood right now, or you can use sort of like this area down here. Or you can use like the catwalk corners here from long haul as well. But you got to be very careful. You only want one person here, and if this person starts dying, you know, they just have to do damage and they die, right? Ideally, they don't die. You use this ramp here to get cover. But this is a very, very shit hill. I like traversing the middle of the map. One of the things that I definitely should credit you on here is that you're very good at using like the Overshield platform to get between layers, which allows you to move around quicker than someone who doesn't. The only issue with it is the timing here. This guy is definitely going to kill you, I think. Yeah, there was no way you were going to get a reversal there. You're effectively caught with your pants down. There's nothing you can do. There was no coming back from that just because of the timing. And it's trying to eliminate those things that will stop you from dying. Little slow off the mark, but real life happens. This is a good ledge. This is a very good way to attack the guy on B plat. This guy's toast, by the way. There's no way you should lose this. Yeah. Like this pushes a team. So now as they die, we push out and we take it. So look, like how you guys are pushing now is quite good, but the overshield's coming up and the sniper's coming up. So you definitely have two guys dead. You have the sniper. Let this guy get the sniper. If this guy is a brain, he'll go for the hill, and then you guys can get the overshield as they respawn, because they've just died. Objective respawn time is 10 seconds. Overshield is up in 7. Yes, you did exactly what I said, but then you get smacked. Where did that guy come from? We need to watch that. I want to see where that guy came from. Was that a respawn? Oops. Was that a respawn in bunker? Because that kind of sucks. I gotta remember the controls again while we're going. There we go. Oh, I missed it. I missed it, chat. I'm so sorry. Oh no, he stayed alive. That was a really good flank from this player. So that was kind of some Halo timing right there. I don't think that guy meant to do that. Especially at like high plat, low diamonds. There's no way this guy was counting how long it was taking you to get there to then perfectly rotate at the right time. But it does show the effectiveness of a good flank. Yeah, I thought he died too. And he respawned, but actually he just hid. So that was good timing on his part. Sometimes you have to understand that when things happen, it's not because you messed up. It's because the other team made a good play or timing was there, and there's just nothing you can really do about it. Other than clean up the kill, right? That was the only thing you could do there. You had to clean up the kill, but you thought he was dead. You thought someone else got him. Quick question. Do you play with enemy names turned on? Because you should. I believe if you go into settings and then gameplay, show enemy names should be on, because then you can tell who you're shooting and if they die in the kill feed. Yeah, this one not so important. This one very important. Play with enemy names turned on. Because you can also say like players who are one shot. So like if I was on the enemy team and I was one shot, I'd be like Vanadam one shot like top mid. And then they know, because what if there's 2 guys top mid and you just bait your teammate out? Right? So yeah, you wanna be careful with that. Anyway. Apologies, just sort the camera out. Okay, let's go. Can we just take a moment to realise how shit that respawn was? Holy crap. Sometimes that is, but that tells you that they're over here, right? Remember, you always spawn the furthest away from the enemy team, so if you spawn in the hill, that means that they're like mid/overshield somewhere. A really good way to escape is the sewer here as well, and you can jump between this area here, here, and here. You can also jump, clamber up here, go this way. You can go between the corners here. There's a ledge up here as well. There's lots of different ways you can escape here. You're pretty well covered at this point. If you have 2 teammates here, if we just move the camera again, a really good place to stand if you have 2 teammates sort of in this area here is you want to try to move towards this side, because they have to full extend out of this corridor to shoot you now. And also you can use this to block if they come from the other side. Bear in mind though that if you have 2 teammates on this side under my camera here, you will force the enemy team to respawn on this side. If you have more of your players here, because it will spawn them furthest away from the enemy team. Being on this side is not ideal, because now you kind of have to hard commit to doing something, so you could get taken out now. And I think you've kind of noticed that. Wow. You should have died for that. You did die for that. Okay, cool. So I feel like that was a preventable death. We've had like 3 preventable deaths at this point. But not too bad. Here, just jump in the gun a little bit. Hill's not up. We have no situational context whatsoever. I would have held bunker. I think you might die for that. Yeah. So that was the same as earlier when you jumped out of tower, right? Because, yeah, you get the trade, but it's better for you to just not die and get the assist. Like, there's dying and getting an assist, and there's getting an assist, and getting an assist is better than dying. So. I can't believe that just happened. Not gonna lie, dude, that kind of sucks. We'll let that one slide. That was ridiculous that you spawned right there. Okay, we're up. Right, so we always want to consider where we are and what that means. So now we've spawned on the back platform towards Carbine. The enemy players must be engine. Yeah, the spawns on this map are shit. We've seen a few of those. So the enemy player here, the enemy player here. They're probably going to spawn over here now. Nice. It kind of looks like you're playing with a little bit of ping on this. It looks like you are playing with a bit of ping. Again, just kind of an unnecessary death there. Just fighting to the death when it's not needed. Your teammates were there. They could have easily finished that kill. Usually around 70. Okay. Yeah, you didn't need to die there. So that's like 4. I think it's a little bit of over-aggression is what we're seeing right now. That's like the biggest fix that you could have. Do everything that you're doing, but just know when to not hold forward. This is very dangerous. Standing here, you have nowhere to go. Yeah, you died. It's okay to hold the pillar here, but just walking out mindlessly to this part. This is definitely a dangerous area. You either want to be like with the box or you want to be with the pillar. You never want to be in the middle unless you're like traversing somewhere else. Standing here is really dangerous. I always challenge you don't play life. I wouldn't say that you don't play life. You try to, but you make decisions that checkmate you, if that makes sense. So you have the right idea, but you're making decisions that mean that it doesn't matter if you play life, because unless your teammate comes and saves your ass, you just die. Everything's coming up. First curb slide of the game. Oh dear. Good nade. I think you probably went for the melee there, but the ping didn't let it go through. Knowing the overshield was there, you probably could have assumed that someone was going to get it. But throwing the nades at the ground and trying to trade yourself out for the overshield, there's nothing wrong with that. That's probably what I would have done if I got myself in that scenario as well. There's not really any winning in that scenario, right? That's the jump we were talking about earlier. That's a nice little jump. It's fine. I don't think I've seen you really use any weapon other than the bandit yet. I'd like to see some more other use of other weapons on the sandbox. Let's just get rid of this UI real quick. Okay. We traded out. Let's pay attention to the respawns here to see what's going on. Okay, we spawned with the team, so that... Three, 4, 3. Come on, man. What is this? That was so dumb. I thought we had line of sight checks in the game now. 3-4-3 is trolling hard. Certified 3-4-3 moment, for sure. That was ridiculous. If you had a sniper rifle, this guy's career was over. That was it. It was the end. That's insane. The line of sight check needs to have a longer range than that, because that was dumb. That was really stupid that just happened. And also, I'm glad that you didn't choke that fight, because I would have flamed you for that. Okay. Well, if they're spawning over there, I would have suggested that means they're over here. They're over on the tower side, but they've moved now. So you can anticipate an attack from the corner here where the shotgun is. Rock on a hard place right now. Use this pillar to survive. Staying on this ramp, you know they're respawning to the right, so you probably should have died for this. Yeah. I feel like you could have probably played on the down low a little bit more there, knowing that guy potentially had a thruster. I think we saw it. But you were in a losing scenario. Okay, we've spawned bunker, so they're all on carbine. Or tower. You can hold a really good counter lock to this hill by standing here. If you stay alive here, you have a lot of pressure and you have nades as well. The enemy team has made a good play by placing someone on the long hole corner, just here, to stop you from doing that. So bear in mind, guys, if the hill is here and you hold it, you can stand on thrust to stop crossfires onto it. And you can also use the long hole corner here. Countering that, you can also stand here to be really annoying. Yeah, you got the hill guy, so that was really good. I would say that was worth it. I would say that death was worth. You stopped them from scoring, and yeah, you traded out, so that's fine. It's likely that you're not going to get this hill here because you have 2 players down. I'm trying. The next hill, I believe, is long haul, so I would start moving towards long haul. Like, yeah. So going for this hill here is kind of pointless, and you have no height advantage in this in this area. So you probably want to either move up here or take tower. Being here right now, I think you were in sort of stop them scoring mode, not realizing they were about to score. So this is just like a small positioning thing to help with efficiency that you could have done. Sometimes it's better to just give up the hill and go for the next one. Because if you lose this next hill by like less than a few seconds, I'm going to be that guy and say it's because you did this. Because it probably is, even though there's 4 players on a team, right? A little indecisive. A little indecisive. I think there it was just make a decision and just go with it. Sometimes it's better to make a decision even if it's the wrong decision, because then you learn it's the wrong decision. Laying low there probably would have been better, but the Overshield guy was literally asleep. Okay. You need to stay alive right now to get spawns close to the hill. Okay. I liked how you pushed past. I think pushing past the nades was a decent idea, like going back was death, right? So the positioning there was okay. Again, we kind of sat on the second nade, but we got the kill. We've got the hill. I'm trying to keep track of respawns now. They died before you, so they will get to the hill first. There's a guy here. You're probably going to spawn bunker again. Your teammates will spawn bunker. Yep. So the bunker spawn for this hill isn't a bad thing. It's only bad for like the tower, really. For the first one. Unless they get a complete lock on you and then it's real bad. But they're not doing that because they're just kind of running this way. This team, if they want to lock you out of the hill, they should be holding this platform here and here. Because if you try to push bunker from here... so if you try to push the hill from bunker and they're stood on this platform, you ain't going anywhere. You're stuck. So if you're holding this hill, big tip, hold this area here and hold tower. And then the team in bunker is literally, for lack of a better term, fucked. There's nothing they can do. Which is why people don't like this map. And you know, you see this on the Strongholds version of the map as well, where people just hold tower, hold long hole corner, and they hold snipe, and then you basically spawn here. When I say hold tower, you have to hold it from as far back as possible. Don't just stand like on the tower window, by the way, because you'll block bunker if you do that. Just to be clear on that. This was a little too ham. We didn't really check the long haul before we pushed and we're going to die for it. So just try to check a little more. I think you kind of you swung the corner, but you didn't look as you swung it. So that was just like a careless death. But I think the other team holding is causing a little bit of panic. We should reiterate at this point, there are 4 players on a team. So even though you're only the one that's getting criticized, there's not only you on the team. We're just criticizing the things you're specifically doing. Timing here is fine. Enemy allied players are attacking the hill at the same time. You're crossfiring into the hill at the same time. Grenades flying your way. You can't push. I know you threw it. But you didn't check the corner again. So angle isolation. You can take this fight totally. Nice freeze frame, by the way. Getting your face absolutely, getting your visor absolutely blown off, as Shurzy would say. But if we just fly over, and I apologize for the slow camera for this. If we just fly over, the fight you were trying to take, why did you not just take it here? Yeah, I dial out. I was a party of 4. Oh, right, you were a party of 4? Okay, we'll go forward talking about the synergy that we're not really seeing here. So you said I dial out. You were in a party of 4. Right, okay, we'll talk about synergy a little bit towards the end of the game then. So you could have taken this fight from here, and you needed to swing to check that guy was there, because you kind of just walked out, right? And that was the end of it. So just be careful. Angle isolation is definitely something that people get wrong. Like, I will admit, I'm still learning this map. It's been a long time since I played Halo 5, so my angle isolation can be a little off sometimes. You could go watch me play, and you'll find that wherever you left that. Okay, let's just get the UI sorted out again for you guys. Yeah, I like holding this platform here. Again, we're kind of stood a little in the open. We just want to make sure the cover's there. If you're going to check the bottom like that, check it from the other side. Yeah, now we have to push forward, right? And we're kind of stuck. So yeah, there was a little bit of panic again. If you're playing as a 4 and people are falling, don't push. As a 4 right now, what you should be doing is you should be probably giving up this hill and going for the next one. There's still 2 minutes left. There's plenty to play for. We spawn bunker. Getting a split spawn suggests the enemies are in between. Oh, look, they're all in the long haul. They're in between. You should wait till your 4th player is alive, and you should collapse on them when possible. They're going to spawn behind you unless we run. So that guy that just died, he's going to spawn over here. We need to be aware of that. I like the help. That's fine. We get sniped. They get OS. Hopefully you get helped. The thing with 4 stacks, right, is it's one of the, we don't have comms, so there's a lot of context chat that we don't have right now. But when you're playing in a 4 stack, something that's really important is not just to call out enemy players, but it's also to communicate with your 4 stack what you're intending on doing, right? So don't just say there's a guy one shot on long haul. You could say, like, I need to push long haul, or you could say, can anyone throw a nade? Or, like, there's so many other things as a 4 stack that you should be communicating that just calling out enemy players is not enough. Like, this isn't 2007. You can't just call someone out. You have to, like, give more information than that. And again, we don't have comms, but you could have called this out. I'm not saying you didn't or you did, but you should be, like, one of the things that really annoys me in 4 stacks is people call out after they die. Do not be that guy. Call out before you die so people help you so you don't die. Yeah? Don't call out after you're in the respawn screen. And use the death cam. Again, we can't see if he's using death cam because we're in theater. That's fine. That guy should have died. I'm not quite sure why that melee didn't kill him. But now he's dead. You want to hold this corner. With your teammate dead, 2 teammates dead, we don't have the kill feed because it's glitched. Holding this corner is your best bet right now, because if they push, they have to fight. If you push the corner, you have no idea who's around here at all. And you almost get the double kill, but you actually die for it. So you just want to be careful at holding like that. You could have held up here, and that would have got spawns over here for you, or potentially just delayed them a little. So we're in bunker again. So look how the enemy team is forcing you to spawn far away from the hill again. And suddenly the hill has all this time on it. Your team has to fly. They have no choice. I would have gone the way you just looked. You have 2 players here. This guy is in combat, which suggests that the enemy players are not, like, in between. Because it's highly unlikely that 3 players would have run past him at this point and him not be in a fight. Highly unlikely. So, with these guys here, you should have gone long haul. Because now, like, so if you're finding your damage is low, it's scenarios like this that cause players to have lower damage, right? Because you think by standing here you're helping, but if you're not doing damage, you're not helping. Because what's going to happen here is your team is going to die, potentially, and while they're dying, you're not doing damage. Like, if your shields are full, you should be taking damage so you can do damage. And the only time that you don't do that is when your shield's empty. Yeah. So, like, look at all this dead time where we've not done any damage. Like, your teammate died, then it was a 1v1, then you died. So that would have been better if you just flew in and helped him. Even though I knew you were trying to mark him so you didn't get grenaded out, that was the wrong play. You want to get in there and help. Don't wait till people die to then shoot, like, shoot gun. It was just a big example of just shoot gun. And that's the end of the game. So hopefully that was helpful. After the fact on the when I put this video out, I'll put the stats on. But that was some bits and bobs for you to think about. Some of the gameplay there was really good. Like, we had some awareness of power-ups. We were trying to be aware of when those things are happening. There was instances of playing your life. Like, you have the subconscious sort of realization to play life as much as you can, but sometimes you put yourself in scenarios where you can play it as hard as you want, you're just dead anyway. And right at the end there, we saw that you can hold the corner as much as you want, but if you ain't shooting gun, you ain't helping team. Right? So try not to like hold corners and wait for the team to push past, wait for the enemy to push into your team. Help your team when they're getting pushed. It's okay to have 2 people in the hill if you're saving someone from dying. Yeah, so that was the first ROG review of the day. I hope that was useful. If you're tuning into this after it's been uploaded to YouTube, then we do VOD reviews with viewers every Tuesday. And you can get your own video reviewed on the stream while you're in the chat to ask us many questions, just like this player did. But for now, guys, this has been Vanadam, and we'll see you in the next one.